Good morning on this Wednesday morning. My name is Leah. I'm the founder and co-owner of Wings Conscious Styling. And today we're going to dive a little bit into basics and staples. Now, I did say on a previous video that I would do this. So today is a casual day for me. Got the joiner in, fit in the back door, and it's a loungewear day with my braids, no makeup on, my screen glasses because I've got a bit of an eyesight problem going on at the moment and head thing. But some days are like that, aren't they? So today I'm wearing my loungewear, part of my loungewear section. Some people would put these into maybe basics. Some of the things I'm wearing, like these vest tops of mine, they go into basics, but they're also in loungewear. So yes, it's really helpful to have a good selection of basics, but also your staples. And then we have your statements. If you're someone who likes statements, some people prefer a minimal style, but let's get into it. So this is a foundation chat about basics and staples. Some stylists just say basics, some say essentials, some say staples. In the past, I've talked about basics and essentials. At the moment, I'm on basics and staples rather than essentials. I'm sure I may shift again, but basically, pardon the pun, basics are what I consider the plumbing, if we're to look at it like a building, of your wardrobe. Staples are what I consider like the structure, and then statements are the decor. But yeah, so basics, they're usually simple in design, often neutral in colour, not necessarily, but they're meant to kind of blend in. They're highly versatile. And examples like a neutral t-shirt or neutral leggings, neutral tank top like this. um, So maybe some basic neutral flat shoes that are not too structured. So yeah, but people will maybe have slightly different ideas of basics and staples. And like I said, some stylists put basics into the whole of what I would call staples or have called essentials. So let's have a look. So what are staples? These are your core must-haves. These are the things that I think you often see on the lists. Now, you don't have to stick to a list. I do have a list um, that I will give to style customers, or people can, for a small fee, purchase it just as a separate thing. And there's a bit of sort of advice in there, but it's not a set in stone list. It's an adaptable list where you make it work for you. And so staples are your core must have for you, not some article or list saying you must have. I keep away from the words must have in a list, the your must haves. Does that make sense? As opposed to a list must have, and any list should be adapted to you. So they tend to be have a bit more personality, structure, and presence to staples. They're often timeless and practical. So this is where I think like the trench coat, the pair of black or dark neutral trousers or skirts, like a pencil skirt, or but you adapt it to your own personal style if you've got an idea of your personal style. If not, that's something you might want to explore. So here I have on the left, or at least my left, don't know how it shows to you, is what I consider basics. Okay, apart from for me at the moment, leggings go in loungewear only because I'm not really wearing them in the day to day in an outdoor outfit. I'll wear them for exercise. So you can see like quite simple in design, even though there's a dress there, it's just a simple jersey dress. For some people, though, that dress might be more of a staple. If you look on the other side, there's a little bit more structure going on, a bit more presence, a bit more substance about the clothes. So thinking of the basics, like the plumbing, these are your pipes and stuff. These kind of help things to function. But these, we got the walls in a building, we got the structure, we got the roof, if, and what have you. But you can see just by looking, there's something a bit more, I want to say sturdy and a bit more present about them. So that's just an example. You might have different ideas, but I hope that you're getting the gist. So here we look. It's two types of basics and staples. You'll see the basics, or at least how I'm seeing it, the t-shirt in sort of a general style or classic style or minimalist style. But then if we look romantic vintage, that's the style I gravitate towards. The t-shirt, it's a bit more scoop neck, it's a bit more rounded, but they're both still a basic. Now, staples, we have the trousers, the tailored trousers, we have the trench coat, but for the romantic vintage, there's the A-line skirt, there's the sweater in like a sort of soft sage. Now, these shoes, I would personally probably put those into staples, but for some people might see those as basic. For me, they need to be a bit softer and flatter to be basics. You they've got a bit of a heel, they've got a bow on. If they were just plain cream flat, they'd be a basic to me. Also, I think it depends on the quality, or at least it does for me. An investment pair of neutral ballet flats or ballet flattish shoes, if they're really good quality on investment brand, they'd be a staple to me. But can you see there how your personal style determines what your basics and staples might look at? Like for me, there is some crossover. I do have a trench coat and some shoes, like in the more classic style, but I also have things in the romantic vintage basics and staples. Here, you can see a couple of outfits put together. Now we've got the very classic style, trench coat, the button-down shirt, the trousers, the structured bag. Now, to me, they're all staples. She might have some staple or basic shoes on. I can't see because my little circle thing's in the way and I can't remember. But that bag is actually quite a basic, maybe. Yeah, yeah, or a handbag there might be. Now, if that shirt was the t-shirt, that would be a basic. Yeah, if she put the blazer on, we'd have another staple. But here, this one in the middle, now the blazer, that would be a staple. Now the little cami, would that be a statement perhaps? It depends on your personal style, doesn't it? For some people who are minimalist, that cami would be a bit more outside of how things usually look for them, or how, the minimal style. Those trousers, they could be a basic. They're just like some flowy jersey trousers. They'd probably be a basic. If they're a good quality linen, they might be a staple. But there's like a mix of, she might have a pair of flat sandals on there. There might be sort of in a canvas, there'll be a basic, a bit more going on with them, maybe a bit of embellishment. That might be a staple. A lot of embellishment would be a statement, maybe. So, but can you see a sort of bit of a difference? Now, here, if we look at the skirt outfit, we've got the trench going on there, and we've got the basic bag, or some people that might be a staple bag, basic or staple, depending how you look at it, little flat shoes. But then we've got the cardigan that's got a little bit of embroidery and a collar. That would be a staple in my book. That skirt, do you know what? I'd probably put that as a basic because it's not a lot of presence about it, is there? It's a very neutral colour, if you like. It looks jersey to me. Now, if that was a tweed, to me that would go into staples. But can you see there's three outfits that are have basics and staples going on. There's no statements going on, apart from potentially, depending on someone's personal style, that cami. For some people, that cami might even be a basic, you know. Um, but three different types of outfit or styles, but in made out of basics and staples. So what we often see on lists is something like this trench coat, button down and trousers thing as core essentials or core staples or some just say basics, like I said, in your wardrobe. But that's only one type of style. Now, someone of a different style could have, I've got a pair of brown tailored trousers, but they've got a sort of a tie waist thing, a bit softer, because that goes better with my personal style. I have had a pair of tailored trousers like that before, and I can well use them, but what I put on the top would not be a white button down. Nothing wrong with that. It looks fantastic on some people. Very streamlined style. It just doesn't look good on me. And the amount of white button downs I've bought, well, a few, not too many, because a list has said years ago or whatever, and I've been trying to streamline my wardrobe and just not worn them. Uh, I do have a cream, sorry, it's an autumn in seasonal colour wrap blouse, and it's got a little collar. Now that fits me, a bit of a ballet and vintage inspired style, but still functions to me like a white button down might to someone else. So it's finding what suits you, and what you like as well, not just what suits you and your own structure, but what you like. Yeah. So that's back to finding your personal style. But I hope you can see that basics and staples don't have to look just one way. And there we have, there's just me in some basic statements and staples. So as we can see, this leopardy, snaky, whatever it is, dress, that's quite a statement, but I wear that a lot and I really like it, and it's becoming a staple to me. So it's a staple can also be about what you wear a lot in the core of your wardrobe. Um, so yeah, at the moment I'm using it as a statement in a little autumn capsule I've created before I rebuy and redo my wardrobe from scratch. And when I do that, I hope you will follow along with me. But at the moment, I'm wearing what I've got for sustainability reasons. The most sustainable thing you can do is use what you've got first at the moment. But yeah, let's just call that a statement for now. Now, this dress, it's actually more of a warm burgundy, a bit of sort of a maroony and cream. I've worn that. I've actually got two, and I've worn it so much it's become a staple. For some people, though, of a more minimalist style, if they had that dress, that might be a statement. But for me, romantic vintage style is a sort of good part of my style. Not the whole of it, but it's in there quite a lot. That's a staple, and it's not. It doesn't hit you as strongly as the sort of golds and bronzy animally print dress. So yeah, that to me, that's a staple. And the cardigans, there's my Cezanne Gaspard in cream, my Cezanne Gaspard in camel, dark camel, and those to me are staples, okay? Because they are good quality, they're a merino, and although the cream one has moved into loungewear at the moment, it's stretched out a bit. That was nothing to do with Cezanne and the quality, that was me. And a bit of not being adept at washing it right, I'll be honest, and then tying it too much like a ballet cardigan, and that's my fault. It's still in really good condition. Um, but it was a staple, but now it's moved into lounge. But the camel one for autumn is there right in the staples, the core of the staples in my wardrobe. I wear that cardigan with so much. I've had good cost per wear that it's been worth the price. So yes, so now a pair of tights with that animally print dress, the Goldie dress. If I had a pair of brown tights and some little plain brown ballet flats, they would be basics to me. With my brown T-bar shoes, they're staples. The tights would be basics. Yeah, that necklace I've got in statements at the moment because it really looks an opulent. Um, but I do wear it a lot, so it's really becoming a staple, and it's not too statementy in your face. When necklaces are too big and statemently, they're a bit overpowering on me. Um, I'm compact. I'm 5'3", a certain kibby ID where I want something striking, but not too big, because it would look better on somebody with a bit more stature. Doesn't mean I can't wear a good strong statement necklace. I can, but it just doesn't look the best on me. But yeah, so there's just some things from my current wardrobe. I'm not wearing this dress so much now. Autumn is coming in, but I can adapt that to autumn with tights. And it's got like a camely colour on the leaves and stalks of the flowers. I could put that camel cardigan on, some tights and some little ankle boots, and transition it into autumn. Let's look at this. This is a project I did for some styling exams. I had to redesign a movie and a character. So I chose Breakfast at Tiffany's and Holly Golightly. Now, I kept to the general style of Holly, the sort of tailored, apart from these trousers, they're not so tailored, they're a bit more modern, a bit more sort of out there, but sort of they've got the blazer, we've got the hats, we've got that dress in the middle, and she did wear a lot of black, but I decided to go on the black and white polka dot theme. And that print is a staple to my version of Holly Golightly for this redesign, if you like, of her for a modern Breakfast at Tiffany's. Now, you see those jeans under that dress there? Now, that harkens to the background of Holly from her rural background, which she used to hide until it came out. And in a general wardrobe, jeans might be a staple. But for Holly, for me, they're a basic. They're functioning a bit like tights and they're part of the plumbing. And the polka dot trousers, dresses, and so on, and the blazer, they're her staples. Even though polka dots are a statement, they're a staple to Holly Golightly, my version of. Now that hat, I'm going to put that as a statement. Yes, there's a statement. Now, if you look at the bottom right, or at least my right, those shorts are a staple, polka dot tailored shorts, but the chiffon long jackety blousey thing, that's going to be the statement, but it's still got the polka dots. Okay, so she's got some just plain pumps on there. There could be a statement, but because Holly's quite flamboyant, they're going to be a basic. They're just like supporting the bag. Quite basic, even though it's got writing on it. Yeah, sort of staple. Do you know what? Thinking about it, that blazer for Holly might be a basic. It's functioning, it's keeping her a bit warm. So she might have a hat on top of there, a statement hat or some statement jewelry. But can you see how just because something is strong, it doesn't have to be a statement. It's how your whole wardrobe and your personal style is. For some people, this polka dots going on would be an absolute statement. But yeah, but I think that one in the middle there with the dress shows how that dress is, even though it's polka dot, it's fitted, it isn't standing, fishtail, it isn't standing out as such. What's standing out is her presence, but also the hat. So it's working it to you again. I've got so much more to say on this, and I am going to be coming back to this. So yeah, basics and staples, and then statements separate, but I'm not on statements so much yet. I will do an extra video on that. but the plumbing, the basics, the structure of the house, the staples, and then the decor, where you bring that extra flair and sparkle or whatever makes you that goes into your statements. However, I would say you bring your personal style into your staples as well. Basics, not so much so, because like apart from what I showed you with the white t-shirt, the more vintage t-shirt, and then the more classic t-shirts, or they were both quite classic, really. You can bring an edge of your personal style or preference into those, but basics are generally quite generic in my view. You might just bring a little bit of your style into it. Statements, I mean, staples, we're getting a bit more of your style, but still, they're still quite something general about them. A blazer is a blazer, but it might have a tie waist or a nipped in waist, bringing a bit of yourself into it. But statements, so we had a blazer, then it might have embroidery on, it might have puff sleeves. You see what I mean? You're bringing more. That would be a statement blazer. So I hope this has been helpful. I feel like I've rushed through it a little bit, but we are going to get deeper into this as we go along. I'd be really interested to hear how you see staples, statement, oh, basics, staples and statements, and how you organize those in your wardrobe. Or if you'd like me to speak any further on certain aspects of these, I will be anyway, but anything in particular, let me know and I'll see what I can do. I can't make any promises whether I can cover things exactly what you want, but I will give it a shot to cover what I can. And doing this, it helps lead us to a more sustainable wardrobe because we're becoming more conscious and intentional, and we've got those core foundations in our wardrobe that we can build around, and then we can add in fun bits. Have a look at my French five-piece French wardrobe video on this channel. It's not about just having five pieces, but it goes into some of this, what I've been speaking about today. Okay, so clocking off now. I will see you hopefully next week or at least again this month. I'm trying to get a weekly video done, but I've got things going on in the house and with work and uni starting up again. So I do my best, but I want to be as consistent as I can without burning myself out. But I'll speak to you all soon. You take good care and bye for now.